How's everyone doing today? This is Kyle back from GamersView.com. Today we are going to take a look at Duke Nukem Forever. I can tell you my initial reaction on Duke Nukem is unfortunately not that good. It's actually a game that I was really excited about, but to kind of get you started off, to give you kind of an idea, it does start with a bit of humor, as here you help Duke go to the bathroom in the game, which I found to be pretty funny for a few seconds there. As you can see, I was kind of enjoying myself. Now, right off the bat, something that I noticed was the game's direction doesn't seem to be very well laid out. Something that I found from the beginning, it's very hard to kind of understand where you need to go, what you need to do in that kind of sense. Now, it's not necessarily a hard game, but at the same time, I did find it is a little confusing to not necessarily get around, but understand when you are getting around what your actual goal is. There's not a very detailed description or any sort of indication, so you're kind of on your own in that sense when you're playing the game. Now, as we take a look here, there are some kind of cool scenes that we'll see up here next. Something that I'm really actually excited that 2K put in the game. One of the things that I really liked is the ability to control Duke in new ways, where here I actually get to draw on the board after the commander asked me if I had any thoughts on our plan. So specifically this time I just went ahead and drew a nice square, which he said was actually a really nice square that I drew, so I was actually really excited about that. Now, when we take the next step into the game, right away we are going to jump away from this scene here with our commander and looking at what seems to be the clock block. Cock block is what it says. Interesting. So a lot of sexual humor in this game right off the bat, which, if you're familiar with Duke Nukem at all, is something to definitely be expecting. Now, as you can see, it looks like we're gonna take on our first boss of the game right away, but Duke actually gets taken out by that, so we do have to go on a little bit of a detour route in order to be able to get to this first boss. Now, stepping down the stairs here, we are going to head towards the first section of the game, and there's a bit of fighting going on. Now, one thing that I found about this game that I was really upset about, and you can notice just based on my review as kind of we go through this first section of the game's walkthrough, is that it is pretty slow. I found it to not be very detailed, or there's no real way that you can get right in the game. Now, you do, of course, go from it being extremely slow to fighting a huge boss, which I thought I could. At this point, I actually thought I was on a turret and I was just going to be shooting this boss. It took me a moment to realize that I actually could move left and right, up and down this what seems to be football field arena type area. I did jump ahead here. I did ultimately defeat the boss and kick his Cyclops eye through the field goal. Now, one thing that you find out is that Duke was actually playing that as a game on his television. I'll leave a lot of the story out just so I don't ruin the storyline for you guys. Now, again, back to something that I spoke on before that I really liked about this game was how you can have the ability to draw in the game on with Duke. Now, again, for that to be a top thing for me in the game says a lot about the game and what the game brings to the table. Now, this is a game that like I said, I was very excited about, and for me to be so excited about something like drawing in a book is something that I could do very seamlessly with my 3DS. I don't feel like I should be thinking that it's a cool thing in a PS3 game that has been in the makings for about 12 years. So unfortunately, I was pretty upset with that being kind of the forefront point. Now, jumping a little more ahead here, like I said, I'm going to leave a lot of the storyline out for you guys so that you can definitely take on the storyline on your own. Here we have the general of one of the military arms and the President of the United States yelling at Duke to not take on the aliens that are coming down from the spaceship that is above Earth. Now, again, this game is set 12 years in time from the last Duke Nukem game, so it is kind of following the same storyline where Duke hasn't really done anything for 12 years and is a major star in the world. Actually, he lives in the Duke Nukem Hotel, which kind of gives you an idea as to how big Duke is here. Now, something that I actually struggled on right here was fighting the boss at, not necessarily even a boss, but the monster at this door. Again, there's no real guidelines as to how to do it. Not that I feel like I need guidelines throughout a whole game, but it was just very kind of figure it out on your own without having any sort of instruction. And in this case, I had to figure out that I had to wait for the monster to breathe, or the alien to breathe, and kind of gasp for air for when I could punch him. I just felt as though this took a really long time for such a short task that I was almost at the point where I was ready to shut the game off, because it was going very slow for me, and this was just a very boring, repetitious idea. Now, something that's going to come up here in the next scene is the ability to grab things. Now here you can see I have some sort of award that Duke has won, and I threw it at the alien, and it seemed to have killed the alien. Now, I can tell you that I've had guns numerous times in this game where I will shoot an alien 4 or 5 times and the alien will not die, but I do find it kind of odd that I can pick up a statue and throw it at an alien and he will die almost instantly. So you can see there I threw another statue at him, or I could punch the alien numerous times and he will die. Now, something that I was very excited about, like I said before, where I was enjoying drawing in the game. This is a pinball machine that is in the game, and again, this is another high point in the game for me where I was really excited. Unfortunately, I'm not too good at pinball games, as you can see here at the end. I lose a few times. So this is our review on Duke Nukem Forever. Again, not a huge fan, so I give this game a 4 out of 10. And the fire! So I hope this helped everyone decide if they want to Duke Nukem Forever. This is Kyle from GamersView.com signing off. Have a good day.